how to meditate. A lot of us, when we think of meditation, we think of someone sitting in a lotus pose, zoning out, experiencing pure nirvana, or whatever that may be. We already know from scientific research that there are so many benefits of meditation, but not just through science, but through our own personal experience. Reduced blood pressure. We're happier. It cures depression. So many amazing benefits of meditation, and people feel calmer. It reduces anxiety, stress, panic attacks. But what is meditation, and how do we go about doing it? For many people, meditation is silencing the mind. Meditation emanating from the Latin meditare, meaning to think or to care. What I found along my journey is that for everyone is different, and whatever you are doing that is bringing you peace of mind and happiness, continue. I'm not here to tell you what to do, because for me, in the new paradigm, it's all about becoming your own guru. It's not about following anybody. It's about sharing with one another. But I can share with you some insights on total body awareness, because for me, that is what meditation is. Meditation is total body awareness, where we have to lose our minds and come to our senses. So how do we go about doing this? For me, first of all, we have to reconnect back to the breath. The spirit, coming from the Latin spiritus, the breath. Once you are disconnected from your breathing, then you are disconnected from the source. For me, meditation is about absorbing yourself in the moment. It's about allowing thoughts to come through you without judgment. Allowing your emotions to come through you without judgment. It's about developing 100% awareness in every single cell of your body.
Let's talk about some of the other benefits of meditation. So the benefits of meditation really quickly. One very important aspect is mastering your emotions. Your emotions run your life. They determine how much you can accomplish in your life. They determine whether you sabotage your own results. So this is really big. They also determine how you feel. If you're always emotional, you're always up and down, you're having all these negative thoughts, then this is making you stressed and frantic throughout your life. So this is destroying the quality of your life. So meditation gets that under control. Meditation is really good for eliminating stress. Meditation is really good for helping you unhook from stimulation. So nowadays, it's very easy to get hooked on addictions. You can get hooked to television, internet, pornography, drugs, food, sex. You name it, it's out there. You can get addicted on it. What meditation teaches you, it teaches you to unhook from that stuff and not be frantic the way you would be now, but to be calm and peaceful and really be happy just in the moment. True happiness can really only be attained by being very present and happy, content, you might say, with the present moment. You might have noticed that if you're always seeking stimulation, what that does in your life is it produces a roller coaster ride, up and down. So what you want to train your brain to be happy with is just a very consistent level of contentment just in the present moment with whatever's going on, and not necessarily even with pleasant stuff. This is something that is really big that you get with meditation. The other thing that meditation is great for is building up your willpower, your prefrontal cortex. Literally, there's been scientific studies and evidence done that shows that by practicing meditation, even for just 10 or 20 minutes every day, within a few weeks in the brain scans that they do, they see the prefrontal cortex building new connections, growing stronger. This will help you with your work. This will help you in your gym routines. This will help you with everything you're trying to do in your life. It's really a form of brain training. It's the most original, old school, millennia old form of brain training. You don't need to play games online to train your brain. The best way to train your brain is to actually use your brain. The way you use it, one of the ways, is through meditation. So that's really good. It also helps with brain health. More and more studies are showing that stuff like Alzheimer's disease is actually a result of disuse of your brain. When you stop using your brain starts to atrophy. When you're using your brain actively all the time, you're putting it under stress, just like a muscle. When you're using it, then it's growing and it's developing. Another thing that's really great about meditation is that it increases your productivity and your creativity. So if you're a very productive person, if you're a no-nonsense kind of no woo-woo, no hippie type of person, you're very pragmatic and hard-nosed, and you just want straightforward results in your life. In your relationships, you want results in your business, you want better finances and better money. This stuff comes from productivity, and productivity comes from a clear thinking mind that's able to focus. So that's what you develop with meditation. You can also use meditation to become more creative, because creativity is something that comes from your subconscious mind, and creativity comes when you're able to calm yourself down and be peaceful and be grounded. Then creative stuff tends to bubble up. When your mind is frantic all the time, it's very difficult to be creative. So if you're a creative, artistic type of person, meditation will serve you very well. Meditation is also the single best way to develop and practice mindfulness. And mindfulness, this is just an awareness and the ability to be an observer of yourself, your mood, your emotions, and also other people and life in general. It's the ability to look objectively at these situations without being reactive to it emotionally. It's the ability, for example, when you're angry, to look from the outside, as it were, at the situation that you're in and the emotion that you're feeling, and the ability to just look at it without having to do anything about it. The power of mindfulness is that it just literally can be used to melt away and dissolve negative emotions and any kind of frustrating situations in life, just by observing it with a lot of consciousness and awareness, without any form of judgment, without any kind of action taking, just pure observation and awareness can be a really powerful tool. And it's hard to appreciate this until you start to meditate and you start to develop these powers. You grow that mindfulness muscle, and then you start to see the results of that in your life, and it's very cool. And lastly, this is perhaps the most amazing thing about about meditation, is that it can be used to attain enlightenment. And through proper use of meditation for long enough times, what you can do is you can literally melt away your sense of ego, your sense of separation from the world, and you can reach this very blissful, peaceful state, which is your natural state, which is obstructed by all the crazy monkey chatter that's going on. This is just the truth that you are one with the world, you are one with everybody else, and when you can attain this state, then the amazing thing about it is that you feel very peaceful, totally content, totally fulfilled, without needing anything else in your life. This is kind of the ultimate state that you can shoot for with your personal development. So this is why you want to meditate. Now let's talk about what meditation is. So let's give a definition for meditation. It's very simple. It's basically just sitting down and quieting your mind and just being aware of exactly what's happening in the present moment. That's how I would define meditation. It's the ability to just focus your mind on basically nothingness, just nothing in particular, and not getting caught up in thought stories. Because what's going on in your head is that all the time you've got these stories that come up, and what can happen is that either you go along for the ride with this story, or you don't, or you just observe the story kind of carrying itself out and fizzling and bubbling away. And that's what thoughts are in your mind. Thoughts are like clouds that move through the atmosphere. Imagine your mind like the atmosphere, and the thoughts are like clouds. And they just come through, they're very random, they're very capricious. One day they're this kind of cloud, the next day it's a different kind of cloud. Sometimes you got an interesting formation of clouds, sometimes it's pretty boring. But sometimes what happens is that we get triggered, we get caught up in these thoughts, and we get carried away. Just like carried away, and we get taken miles and miles off track by going along on these clouds. And what meditation is about just being totally still and just watching these clouds kind of move through the atmosphere without moving, without judging them, without thinking about them, just watching them. So that's a definition of meditation. There's been a lot of scientific studies that have been done, especially in the last 50 years or so, on meditation. They've done EEG scans and fMRI scans on meditating monks and Buddhists and yogis. They've also done studies on just regular, ordinary Western meditators, people who meditate for just 10 minutes every day. What they found is that meditation has enormous health benefits and enormous benefits towards improving your life. We've already covered a lot of those benefits, but don't just think that this is some sort of like new age type of tradition or some sort of like fad type habit. Meditation has been done for thousands of years, and for good reason, because these benefits are very real. And in fact, science just now is catching up to some of the benefits that have been talked about in Eastern traditions, where meditation originated from, for literally millennia. So there's so much scientific evidence. You can read books that will teach you and really convince you of some of this amazing stuff. There's a lot of different meditation techniques. I'm going to share something very simple with you today. There's different ones. Some of them have you focusing on a mantra, on an affirmation that you say to yourself. Some of them have you do particular breathing exercises. Some of them have you counting your breaths in a specific way. Some of them just have you trying to clear your mind constantly. So there's a lot of different stuff. But actually, meditation is very, very simple. And I want to keep things very simple here. I'm going to cut out a lot of bullshit. The fact is, you don't need to spend a lot of money on classes. You don't need to spend a lot of time reading books. You don't need any special equipment. Here's the technique I'm going to give you, and you can use this technique, and you can literally use this technique to get to the highest levels of meditation that you can. All you got to do is use it consistently. So here it is. Step one is you get a timer. I like to take my smartphone. I have a timer on there, and I set a timer. Let's say for you, the time is going to be 20 minutes. When you're starting off a meditation habit, a good time to shoot for is 20 minutes. So let's have you start with that. 20 minutes on the timer. Step two, sit in some sort of quiet area, preferably alone by yourself. Sit in a comfortable position. You don't need to sit in a full lotus position. That's usually difficult. You don't even need to sit in a half lotus position. You can just literally take a chair and sit on it. You can do it on a couch. You can do it on the side of your bed. Don't lie down. You need to sit up. And not just sit up, but the more perfectly straight and erect your spine is, the better. Because one of the things you'll encounter with meditation is sleepiness. And one of the best ways to correct sleepiness when you're meditating is to keep your back very, very straight. I used to think that this wasn't important until I started falling asleep a lot, and then I discovered that actually the angle of your spine matters very much. The more you tilt it, even just a little bit, the more sleepy you tend to get. So the more straight your spine, the better. If you want, start off meditating with some sort of support for your back. So let's say you're sitting on a chair with a back. That's fine. Eventually, it's probably best to sit in a way where nothing is supporting your back, just your muscles are doing it, so that will keep you the most alert. So you're going to sit like that, and then you're just going to close your eyes as you're sitting like that, and you're going to relax. You're going to not do anything special with your breath. You're just going to kind of breathe, not too deliberately. You're just going to let your breath go automatically, nice and calm and steady. Your eyes are going to be closed, and what you're going to do in your mind is you're just going to try to clear your mind of any particular thoughts. And like I said before, you're going to try not to get caught up in the thought stories. So it might look something like this. You're sitting there, you're comfortable. Give yourself a minute just to adjust. Scratch anything that needs scratching so that you're comfortable sitting there. And then you're going to try to sit still and not move for those 20 minutes. And what immediately is going to happen is that for the first 5 or 10 seconds, maybe your mind will be clear, but then some thought will come up, some sort of story, and it'll try to grab you and kind of take you with it as it goes. Just let it go, and again, just wait for a new thought to come. And so you continue like this. You just let thoughts come and go, come and go, come and go, without ever moving from where you are. Not physically, I mean in your head. Just kind of be very still. Be the atmosphere. Don't be the clouds. Let the clouds pass through you. And so that's it. And your brain is going to get caught off track. You're not going to be able to do this perfectly. It's very difficult to do this perfectly. So in practice, what you're going to have to do is you're going to get carried away by these thoughts. Sometimes you'll get carried away a little bit, and then you'll stop yourself and you'll refocus. Sometimes you get carried away very, very far. And so you're going to keep doing this again and again and again and again. And that's basically what meditation is. You do that for 20 minutes or however long you decide to do it for, and you're done. At the end of the 20 minutes, you get up, open your eyes, and you're off to do whatever you want to do throughout your day.
Many teachers, and we are among them, teach meditation as a very good process for raising vibration. An effective meditation would be one that distracts you from any physical awareness that causes resistance within your vibration. For when you turn your attention away from what holds your vibration in a lower place, your vibration will naturally rise. It's like a withdrawal of consciousness, but while you're still awake. When you're asleep, you withdraw consciousness too. But when you slumber, you're not consciously aware of what it feels like to be in that higher vibration. When you are awake and in a state of meditation, you can then consciously recognize what it feels like to be in that higher vibration. And in time, you'll gain a new sensitivity to your vibration so that you will immediately know whenever you're focusing on something that's causing resistance. Any thought that you continue to think is called a belief. And many of your beliefs serve you extremely well. Thoughts that harmonize with the knowledge of your source and thoughts that match the desires that you hold. But some of your beliefs do not serve you well. Thoughts about your own inadequacy or your unworthiness or examples of those kinds of thoughts. Now, with an understanding of the laws of the universe and some willingness to deliberately choose thoughts, you can, in time, replace all hindering beliefs with life-giving beliefs. But here is a process that can give you the immediate benefit of changing your beliefs in a much shorter time. We call this process the process of meditation. We playfully tell our physical friends that the reason we teach the process of meditation is because it's easier for most of you to clear your minds, having no thought, than it is for you to think pure positive thoughts. For when you quiet your mind, you offer no thought, and when you do so, you offer no resistance. And when you have activated no resistant thought, the vibration of your being is high and fast and pure. Imagine a cork bobbing on a body of water. That represents the place of high, pure, fast vibration that is actually natural to you. Now imagine holding the cork down under the water. That's what resistance is like. And now imagine letting go of the cork and see it rise back up to the surface of the water. Like the cork naturally floating on the water's surface, it is natural for you to experience the high, fast, pure vibration free of the hindering resistance. And, like the cork, if you're not doing something that holds you down under the water, you'll bob right back up to the surface where you belong. In other words, you do not have to work at being in the high vibration that's natural to you, because it is natural to you. But you do have to stop holding the thoughts that cause you to lower your vibration. It's a matter of no longer giving your attention to things that do not allow your cork to float or do not allow you to vibrate in harmony with who you really are. If you're not focused upon unwanted things that are the opposite of your own pure desire, you will activate no vibration of resistance, and you will experience your natural state of thriving and well-being. A decision is the focusing of the vibration of desire, and the decision point happens when the desire is powerful enough. The only discipline that we would like you to exercise is to make a decision that nothing is more important than that you feel good, and that you're going to find thoughts that feel better. Your cork floating is the only thing that is worthy of discipline. You could say that the process of meditation is a shortcut to changing your beliefs, for in the absence of thought, there is no resistance within you, and your cork, so to speak, bobs naturally back up to the surface. Now, to begin the process of meditation, sit in a quiet space where you're not likely to be interrupted. Wear comfortable clothing. It does not matter if you sit in a chair or on the floor or even lie on your bed, unless you tend to fall asleep when you're doing so. The important thing is that your body be comfortable. Now, close your eyes, relax, and breathe. Slowly draw air into your lungs and then enjoy the comfortable release of that air. Your personal comfort here is very important. As your mind wanders, gently release any thought, or at least do not encourage it by pondering it further, and refocus upon your breathing. You are, by nature, one who wants to focus. So in the beginning, this process of meditation will feel unnatural, and you will find your mind wanting to return to things you've been focusing on previously. When that happens, relax, breathe again, and try to release the thought. You'll find it easier to quiet your mind if you'll choose small thoughts that do not have the potential for expanding into something interesting. You could focus upon your own breathing. You could mentally count your breaths in and out. You could listen to the dripping of a faucet. In choosing the soft, gentle thought, you'll leave behind all thoughts of resistance, and your vibration, like the cork, will naturally rise. This is not a process where you work on your desires, but instead this is one of quieting your mind. As you do so, any resistance will subside, and your state of vibration will rise to its natural, pure state. As you quiet your mind, you may feel a sense of physical detachment. For example, you may feel no real difference between your toe and your nose. Sometimes you'll feel a sensation of twitches and itches beneath your skin, and often, once you have released resistance and are soaring in your natural, pure high vibration, you will feel an involuntary movement in your body. It may sway slightly from side to side or forward and backward, or your head may roll gently from side to side, or you may simply feel the sensation of movement or of a yawn. But any or all of these sensations or movements are indicators of your achievement of a state of meditation. Your point of attraction will now have changed, and your state of allowing will be in place. Things that you have been asking for, all of which have been given, are now flowing gently into your experience. And as you come out of your state of meditation, this state of allowing will continue until you focus upon something that changes your vibrational frequency. But with enough practice, those higher frequencies will become so familiar to you that you will be able to reclaim them whenever you choose. Over time, if you meditate regularly, you'll become quite sensitive to the way the higher frequencies feel within your body. In other words, whenever you focus on anything that causes a dip in your vibration, you'll now be more likely to recognize it at the early, subtle stages before the dip is too significant, and you'll easily be able to change your resistant thought in order to maintain your balance.